potent advice, and inspiration from real self-made millionaires. Welcome to the Eventual Millionaire with your host, Jaime Masters.
Welcome to Eventual Millionaire. I'm Jaime Masters, and today on the show, I am so excited to have Cathryn and Alan of bestself.co. It is the journal that I have been using forever, even before I knew who the heck they were. Thankfully, they're amazing, awesome people I consider friends now. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
It's great to be here, Jaime. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. Now, the funny thing is that I seriously probably have 6 different friends that do their own journal type thing. I've been sent so many journals. It's crazy. I did not know you. I even got one given to me at an event, and I was like, and I didn't even look at it, which was apparently silly. And then I ended up being a huge convert and buying a bazillion of them for clients and everybody else. So please describe to everybody why I love it so much. No, please describe to everyone sort of like what it is and what it does, and I'll go into details and gush over it later.
So the Self Journal, it's a 3-month day planner where we show you how to set a goal, break down how to get there, and give you the daily framework so that you're not like reinventing the wheel every day of like, oh, morning gratitude and time blocking and everything else. It's just everything in one place so that you know exactly what to do.
So I like yours better because of the setup and the layout and the way that my brain thinks. Did you guys know that going in? Are you smart with UI and that's why yours is better in this subset, or just you made it up as you went?
Well, our customer avatar was Jaime.
Yeah, exactly.
And we well, we both kind of had a framework. We both had the framework of what we like to do. And then it was just like the design of making it look good, which is kind of what I love to do.
Yeah, so it actually started out as a blank moleskin that Cathryn and I would write in every day. And we'd iterate the framework over time, and we'd find little things that we would like and want to add and tweak. And I think it just sort of naturally evolved to like, oh, hey, we like using it this way. Other people might like this too because it works for us.
Yeah, tell us the
and
actual...
we hate writing it every day.
Well, exactly. You must have had to write it out every single day, because I was doing something very similar. So we made pieces of paper and just printed a whole bunch of them and like stuck them in my little moleskin thing.
Yeah.
Right? So exactly. You guys just got sick of it. Okay. So tell us about the actual business Inception. So it's one thing to like make a journal for yourself because it's cool. It's another thing to be like, I'm going to go promote the heck out of this and create a business out of it. Alan, I'm going to ask you. Polite. I'm going to make sure I point. No, I know that I will say, Alan, that one's for you. He's like, I forgot the question now.
No. This actually didn't even start as a business. So Cathryn and I had a joint venture together before Best Self came around, and we were using a day planner to hold ourselves accountable to ourselves and also make sure that we weren't wasting time in the day, because we were also running our own businesses at the same time. So now we were solo entrepreneurs running 2 businesses, and our time was extremely limited. So we said, all right, let's stop writing in this blank moleskin every day. And we went to a couple friends and said, hey, if we print a small batch of this, would you be interested? We're thinking maybe buy 10, if we're lucky, cross our fingers, 20, right? Because we didn't want to pay for a batch run ourselves. And the response was like, oh my gosh, how quickly can you get this to us? I feel like I need this in my life. We're like, oh, wait, really? So then we decided to go to Kickstarter, and we said, all right, let's launch this as a product. So we launched this as a product on Kickstarter. We're still running our joint venture together, and the business Inception sort of came about by having so much fun at the Kickstarter. We were dealing with the customers that we loved. We loved working on the product. It was helping people, and it sort of just came about naturally that way.
You're so busy, you need a planner to deal with it. So you start another business because then you need 4 in order. Yeah. But did it feel like this one just took off easier than the other ones, or you just liked it better? This for Alan. We'll get to you in a second, Cathryn.
Did we like it? One, it felt effortless because we were having fun. because we were serving customers that we liked. Now, the business that we had before was an Amazon business that we were white labeling products that you could pick up off the shelf from Amazon and rebranding them and then reselling them. There was no passion or brand or like really any sort of drive for us to keep going except make more money, right? But what we found was that we truly just wanted to help people, and people were really found support and what they needed in what we had to offer. And I'll let Cathryn tell the story of the Sunday after Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I had always heard like follow your passion or build something with passion and then the money will come. And I never really believed it. And then this happened and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, but right after Kickstarter, everything that you talk about productivity wise is you have to throw out the window during like a crowdfunding campaign because you're totally reactive to everything. You wake up first thing in the morning, you look at your phone to see where you're at. So like our goal, our public funded goal was like 15,000, but Alan and I had a personal internal goal that was 200,000, and we didn't tell many people that because anyone we did tell looked at us like, yeah, right. It's like
yeah,
it's
you're making a journal,
like,
200 grand for a journal. I mean, geez, on people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but the day we hit that, it was like, oh my God. And then we went on to do like 323,000 in like 34 days. So it's just like completely insane. Your adrenaline's just crazy. Alan and I actually both got sick at right after the Kickstarter. We're basically hungover. I think it was like an adrenaline hangover. And between I think it ended like Tuesday night at 10 p.m. I remember on the Sunday, we set up like a pre-order page afterwards. So as soon as the campaign ended, you could buy it on this like random rinky-dink site that we set up in about 45 minutes when we realized, oh my God, we have to set up a pre-order site before the campaign ends. So we set it up. And then on the Sunday, I was looking at the sales of that, 5 days, and we weren't running marketing to it. It was just like anyone that happened to come to the Kickstarter after and missed it would just click off and maybe buy it. And so I was looking at the sales and I realized that we'd done more in like that 5 days than we had on a month on Amazon. And I was just thinking and the thought where all my time and all our time had been like focused on the Kickstarter, the thought of like splitting our focus and going back to this Amazon thing that we didn't care about, really, it was just like, I would like shrink up on myself thinking about it. So I decided I'm going to talk to Alan about this and see if we could just like quit the Amazon thing. So I called him and it was a Sunday and I was outside of my apartment, like pacing the pavement, looking like a crazy person in New York. And so I'm saying, Alan, what if we just didn't do the Amazon? What if we just like quit Amazon? I think Best Olive has the potential to do something bigger. And I'm really excited about working with it. Whereas the Amazon thing, I'm like kind of not excited about. And I thought he was going to be like, you're insane. We put so much effort into this. But he was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I'm like, okay, great. We can quit Amazon. He's like, we should sell the Amazon business. So I'm like, that's a much better idea.
It's way easier to decide to quit on a business when you have $323,000 from Kickstarter. Be like, yeah. What was it? What marketing tactics? Because number one, how many years ago was this? Everybody talks about Kickstarter and stuff like that, but most people don't even come close to their $15,000 goal, let alone blow past their $200,000 goal, which seems crazy. What was the sweet spot in marketing, and what year was it, so people can sort of set their sights on how marketing was back then?
I mean, it was August 2015 that we launched it, mid-August, and we, for the 3 months prior, were very intentional with how we set it up. So we actually used the self-journal to create the goal for the 200,000, which is the funny thing. So we're like, okay, this is how many email subscribers that we need. Finalizing the prototype, what we needed for the Kickstarter campaign. So we were very like, we need this many subscribers. We need this many people to back us within the first 48 hours to get that Kickstarter algorithm kicking in. So we were very intentional with how we set it up. We weren't just like, oh, let's throw this thing on Kickstarter and hope for the best.
That's awesome. So you did a ton of research on Kickstarter because you didn't actually launched a Kickstarter before, or had you?
I had actually done a Kickstarter with a prior company. Mm-hmm. a prior like project. It wasn't anywhere near the size of this, but I'd been successful with those. So I was just like, I just needed to take what worked here and then do it much bigger for Best Self. And then also because I had Alan, like we were both great working together because we could do the things that, we have complementary skills. So the stuff that I really dislike doing, Alan was great at, and vice versa. So it really worked well.
What are your roles? Like, what's yours, Cathryn? What's yours?
I handle all product related, and Alan is marketing.
Ooh, I love it. So you actually stay away, you should not stay away, but you guys have separate roles because especially when there's partners, you can get a little like this. So you know that you're really good at product and you're really good at marketing, and you don't sort of cross, or do you cross quite a bit?
No, we cross. And I think that's what makes it great. We cross because we both value each other's opinions. And we also, like, Cathryn has great ideas for new marketing stuff. Like, oh, hey, I just saw this. We should be doing something like that. I'm like, yes, great idea. It just works out really well because if you're trying to do both, if you're a solopreneur trying to do both, it's just there's not enough hours in the day, really. So it just helps spread out the bandwidth. And also, I don't have the design eye. I'm a little, let's get sloppy. Let's put something up and get it going. And Cathryn's like, but wait, let's tweak this right here, like really detail oriented. So it's great.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
I think it's like an implementation thing. And so it's like, I'll throw in marketing ideas and then run for the hills. I'm like, this could do it with a lead page, but I don't want to go anywhere near that. And Alan be like, oh, this would be cool. And I'm like, oh, I can totally like design this. So I think it's more of just, we can both step into each other's and give each other ideas. But as far as the implementation, like I can give him an idea and Alan knows how to just implement what I just kind of jumped in the fray and said and ran away from.
See, that's the best of both worlds. That's a great distinction then too, because then you can go, okay, great. And I know what my role is instead of trying to do the lead page too, right? Or your own page because you're really, really detail oriented. Then you get stuck over there. And I see that happen a lot with businesses where people like cross contaminate and you got to like leave that person alone to let them do their own thing. What do you think the actual USP is for yours? Because there's so many journals, it's crazy. I was an art major, right? Way before all this. So I love the layout of it. Do you think it's just the layout or is it just more?
It's a combination of a few things. So one, it's the content that we provide. We just don't give you a journal. We give you a framework on how to take your dreams and your goals and sort of mash it into this. And then we teach you how to break that dream and goal down into a daily action plan. So now it's not like, oh, I want to start this business or double my business, or I want to go on this vacation, or I want to run this marathon. It's, oh, all I have to do is this today and that tomorrow. And next thing I know, I'm making my dreams a reality. There's that. And then we also built a huge tribe, a huge community of people. So people come in for the journal because they think it's going to improve their lives, which it does, and it has. But what they stay for is this community of advocates who just love supporting one another. And what we find is that people will team up with similar goals. Like, oh, you have a health goal, I have a health goal. Let's team up together. Or, oh, you're working on your business too. I'm working on my business too. Let's team up together. It's really, really great.
Okay, so wait, tell me about the tribe then, because I know it says you have like 249,000 subscribers on your email list. It says on your site, but how do they interact with each other? Do you have community?
We have a Facebook community called Best Self Alliance, and that is, I just think we had like 30,000 the other day of people in there that have got the journal, and then we'll find each other in there, and it's just become like a bunch of people interested in becoming their best self, which is kind of rare. It's not like you sit, I mean, we do probably, but we're like, oh, what's your morning routine look like? But we're kind of weirdos. Whereas most people in normal day-to-day life, when they have a goal or whatever, but sometimes it's like not cool to talk about what you want to get done, or like a lot of people don't discuss that openly with friends. And so I think the community provides sort of accountability in a lot of ways, and just sharing with, oh, this person lives really close to me. People have set up meetups of where people live close to them, And now you have someone in real life that you met on the internet that has either a similar goal or just like something they're working towards. And I just feel like that's not talked about as much as we'd like. So it's been kind of starting that whole idea of sharing.
Okay. So I want to talk about the marketing side, and then I know you guys have amazing productivity hacks that everyone needs to hear. So before we get into that though, 250,000 is a lot. So I'm assuming, Alan, you had previous marketing experience. How did you grow your list in so short a time? 2015 to 2018 now is pretty quick for 250,000 people.
We need to update the site because I think there's more, but
I know we're really bad at that.
Yeah.
I love that you said that.
Yes, I did have past marketing experience, but how did we go about building this list? What we ended up doing was and we did this with our Kickstarter right off the bat, was the first thing that we did was let's give the self-journal away for free in a PDF download. So now someone can literally download exactly what they're about to purchase and see it for themselves. They can print it out. They can use it immediately if they wanted to, and they can get a real feel for if it's right for them or not. Also, it reduces that scarcity, or not the scarcity thing, but it reduces like the uncertainty that they'll have and what they're going to receive. Because a lot of times people will read reviews on, say, Amazon for like 6 of the same product, but they don't know which one to pick. So then they get overwhelmed. They're like, oh man, I don't, is this the right one? I don't know. I don't want to make the bad decision. This just alleviates all of that. So that's one way that we built our list extremely fast, was through giving away the self-journal for free. And people called us crazy in the beginning.
Really?
I remember people coming up and saying, competitors are going to rip you off. No one's going to purchase because they're going to get it for free. What's the sense? Like, why are you doing this? And it's been completely reversed. People love us because we do it. We now are building a better community, and also we don't want to hinder anybody from not purchasing from us. We want to give this tool out to people just because we believe in it.
I bought so many planners where I will try it for like 2 days and be like, no, this sucks. If I just saw what it looked like before I actually bought the thing, I wouldn't have done it. Right. So I think it's an amazing thing. And it's hilarious that they said competitors, because they could just buy one and rip you off too. Just saying. Anyway, go ahead, Cathryn.
Don't give them ideas, Jamie. I think another thing was, like, during the Kickstarter, we had people using it, and then they would give us feedback on how they used it, and then we actually made the product better. So it served as sort of product development, and then they felt more ownership of the product because they helped sort of craft, at the end point, when it's very small tweaks, but for them to feel like they made a difference with it. And I think just people being able to download it. There's been people that have come in being like, I couldn't afford to buy it at first. I set a goal with the printed out version of it, which they showed us, and then they hit the goal and actually went and bought one. So that was pretty cool.
That's so amazing. Oh, and you can help the people that can't actually help and buy it right then. That's amazing. So how did you get in front of the audiences in order to build this though too? I get the lead magnet part, but where did you go? Did you go on podcasts? Did you do a lot of paid advertising? What was sort of the pieces that worked really well for you or is working?
I think it's evolved over time. So, what would you like to hear? How we started or what we're doing currently?
What you're doing currently. Yes. Thank you.
All right. So what we're doing currently is a little bit of everything. So, we have a full, and what we're doing currently is completely changed because Cathryn and I just did an organizational chart yesterday.
Nice.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
When it just started out, the two of us, it's like, oh my gosh.
How many people do you have on your team now?
14.
Yeah, I love it when you do. How many is that again?
Yeah, they just keep growing. It's like an organism that's just going.
That's awesome.
Actually, so when we first started, so I don't know if people listening, how many, if they have a team or if it's just the two of them, but I think Alan and I, when we first started, we're like, okay, our list when we went to Kickstarter was like 3,500 or something very small. But that was over 3 months. We built that from like literally nothing. And one of the things that we did, which made a big difference, was we did a giveaway prior to launching the Kickstarter, which was for productivity tools, or like it was like bulletproof coffee, our favorite apps, some books. So it was like a productivity bundle, we called it. And I think it was like $1,000. We put that in so that we could, the only people that were going to be interested in these products would be interested in the self-journal when we launched it. So it was important to align whatever the giveaway is with whatever it is you're planning to launch. If we wanted like the most email subscribers, we could have put like a MacBook Pro, but then it wouldn't have been very targeted. So that was one of the things we did that got us a ton of email subscribers. We also created custom content. So it was like, and then we posted on Medium. So I'd write the content. We create a content upgrade, which is just a PDF that we would give away for free. And then Alan would promote it. And like basically, what did you call it? You would
syndicate. I would syndicate it. So Cathryn, like I don't have the time or patience. I think I have it like ADD when it comes to writing blog posts, but Cathryn's really articulate with how she writes. So it's perfect. Cathryn would write this really comprehensive blog post with a content upgrade. And then I would go out and I'd be promoting the heck out of this thing on all these different platforms. So we'd use Reddit and subreddits. We'd go into Facebook groups and do custom posts inside each group of why that audience would be interested in this article or this blog. Then we would use, actually at the time, Medium had just started in 2015 or maybe 2014, but it was brand new. Not many people were on it. And we saw a ton of great traffic from Medium when we were just starting out.
Yeah, we basically would that was our hack. We'd post it on Medium so that we could get the most likes. And then we would get onto like personal development, like where they had, maybe like 100,000 subscribers to that publication in there. And once you got popular there, you'd be on the top 5. And then I think the day our Kickstarter launched, like Ariana Huffington tweeted out an article of ours, not knowing that we just launched, but it was just like, because it was top of Medium, because we put a lot of focus on it. And that had a content upgrade with it. And then I think it was a content upgrade till our Kickstarter launched. And then it was a link to our Kickstarter at the bottom of it. So that was like very like hacky how we got started with like starting the list. And now, thank God I don't have to go in there that much to deal with the email list.
I love that, because it's not your sweet spot. Apparently you can actually have the role that you really like and that you want. So do you do a lot of, is it mostly content stuff and getting that out there that really pulls in everybody? Because what's so interesting is it's a physical product. It's not like you're selling like digital. I mean, you are selling, I think there's one digital course in there, but it's physical products that you're selling. So content is working.
Content is working, and I don't think that it's going to go anywhere. So really, it's providing value, providing information to people who are interested in that info, regardless of what you're selling, or whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's a digital course. If you're providing value and someone can get what they need from it, and if you could do that a couple times, you'll be top of mind. And then it's like, oh, remember, you know what? I do need to, take control of my day. What's that company again? Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Oh, wait, it's right in my email or my inbox.
Well, and I think, go ahead.
Well, another thing is like, we realized that we could sell a ton of journals to like one person, but our key was to like create the content and create what would make them successful with it, which would make them come back and get more and like buy it for other people. And so we put a big ownership on, how do we make sure that they're successful with it, rather than, so we can sell to like 1,000 people like 20 times rather than, 1,000 people once.
I haven't bought any other journal. Like I haven't bought more than one of any other journal ever. Yes. You know what I mean? So I'm picky. I'm super picky when it comes to this stuff. And so it was really interesting that I didn't even know you, and you guys hooked me, and I wasn't even reading your content right? And I bought it for everybody, right? I bought it for tons of my clients. And so so I'm looking at the sweet spot between, yes, you need to have marketing, but the product is the people that like it, I think really, really like it. You must have, do you have like numbers on how many people reorder? And are you always like looking at that metric, or are you just trying to get new ones? What are you doing as far as the metric side go?
Yeah, we look at that pretty extensively. So 2 years ago, Cathryn and I were invited to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, and one of their things was, look at how many customers you're bringing in, look at how many times they're repurchasing, and then look at the volume that they're purchasing, like the average order value. And if you can increase each of those by just an incremental percentage, look at the trajectory of your business. So we 2 years ago we learned that, and we look at that consistently.
I love that. And you were invited though, right? Because didn't you do a video with Tony Robbins and stuff like that? It's not like you just went there.
Yeah, I use the term invited. Cathryn. So after the Kickstarter, Cathryn and I entered the Shopify Build a Business competition. And we set up our Shopify store and launched it on January 1st of 2016. And the Build a Business competition is for any new business that enters. Whoever has the highest percentage growth or the most customers or most sales, they do a bunch of different metrics, and in a bunch of different categories, they win. And they win this like grand prize of going on this trip and ringing the New York Stock Exchange at the bell. And we ended up winning, actually, the first year that we were in business,
which is insane. By the way, insane. That's how I heard about you and stuff like that. Though it was the fact that you won that, and I think Tim Ferriss posted or something like that, and so your name was everywhere for a while, which is really impressive for a first year in business, by the way. That like rarely happens. So when we're looking at like the content that you're creating and the geekiness of the productivity, because I'm as efficient and effective as humanly possible, but I still like paper, hence the reason why I have this, right? Give us some tips on winning the day. I know you have a Chrome extension now about winning your day and stuff too. Give me what that terminology is and some tips for that.
So a couple of principles that we based the self journal around was, first of all, like setting what goal it is you're working towards first, so you always know it, so that you're always aware of like seeing opportunities as it relates to your goal. So if it was to be an eventual millionaire, what would that look like? The 3 priorities for the day, and then time blocking your day. So a lot of times, I used to set these epic to-do lists of, okay, this is awful, like, because I'm setting myself up for failure, where I would write these epic to-do lists of, I'm going to get all this stuff done today. But of course, like, everything would have to go beyond perfectly, and I still wouldn't be able to get it done. So I'd end the day like working, and then I'm just looking at this list being like, oh my God, I'm just feeling bad about myself because I wasn't realistic with where my day was going to go. So we kind of teach like, okay, estimating like what are the 3 things you want to get done? Let's actually like plan them into your day, so you're not just like dreaming of getting it done. And then just the general sense of being more conscious with where your time goes, so that you're not, looking at your phone on Facebook. We're not saying like work all day. We're more of just being like, let's be mindful of where our time's going.
Yeah, the time blocking thing. So I was trying to pull up, I care about drawing my little time day. Even today, I did it today. And then I do it the next couple days, so I can pre-plan what I've got coming up, just so you know, because I want a week. You don't have a week schedule in here, but I want one of those. But I have you guys, and then I have to pick up the kids. So I do my business stuff priorities up top, and then I do my personal stuff down bottom. And you gave me space to do it. As an art kid, I was like, just give me the space and I'll sort of make pieces myself, because I have the Asana to-do list that has way more than I can get done. And I try and organize those pieces, but then I pull them here. And then when I get my top 3 priorities done, I'm all set. So like the way that you guys structured that is just so easy to know what I need to be focused on, instead of looking at Asana and going, okay, my to-do list is never ending, and it will never be ending, right? Until I'm dead, most likely, for productivity people. So I love that about it. Anyway, continue.
Well, the new one actually, it's not new. It's been out for a bit, but you might have bulk bought.
I bulk bought, yes.
Has the week in it, so you can see like kind of an overview.
It does. Thank you for listening to me. I didn't know that you did that. I put it in the universe and you must have heard it. Okay, good.
Well, we actually always update the versions with each run we do. So we'll get customer feedback. We'll see like what makes sense. We can't make everyone happy, but we try to like improve it with every time. So that was something that we heard. And then just tracking and reflecting on your day at the end of the day. So if things go like, what did you actually accomplish? I'd feel bad at the end of the day of everything I didn't accomplish, even though I would get stuff done. So just the changing this negative behavior to put more positive behavior and writing down the good things and writing down your lessons learned. I think that just bookending your day with some intentional planning saves you a ton of time during the day.
Yeah, and it also helps you be more mindful. So going back to like winning the day, being a high achiever, you're always focused on, okay, what's next? What's next? And you don't pause and reflect back on like, oh yeah, you know what? This good thing did happen today. Oh, I did get that client. Oh, I did launch that product. Or, oh, this good thing happened. You're always like, okay, that happened. Now what? Now what? Now what? And this just gives you just doing that in general, just pivoting, looking backwards, will definitely give you more to be proud of.
Well, it's the momentum, right? I mean, even with my clients, even mastermind groups, everything, it's a series of small wins that actually is what gives you the success. And we don't really look at that. We go, oh, we're on Tony Robbins. We're amazing. And it's like, well, look at all the other things that you had to do in order to even get there as an option. And we, as entrepreneurs, if it's not big, it's like, and you don't think of it, or you negate it completely instead of seeing them for what they are. So having like the little grateful things I write every day, like all those little things that definitely add up long term, and doing it daily instead of what I was doing before was weekly on my masterminds has been really awesome also. But that feeling creates the momentum, which makes me want to do more anyway, which is a wonderful thing. Okay, tell me.
I think it's just the unsexy stuff of doing something small every day.
Right? You're like, I know, but I wanted a hack that made it 10 times faster and easier and better. And you're like, just do the work, people. Just do the work. Write the gosh darn blog posts until you don't have to write them anymore because you have other people to do it. Okay?
Yeah. It's funny how many people, when we won the Build a Business Award, or they're like, oh, you're so lucky.
I know.
I'm like, really? I think when I'm like on the phone at 2 a.m. to Alan, like dealing with like shipping containers, and like we're just trying to like juggle all this stuff. I'm like, it didn't really feel lucky. It just felt like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I think some people that are listening right now need to hear that again and again, right? And it's more of the more effort, not effort. You guys said you feel like you really, really enjoyed it. There's more ping pong balls that you're hitting across, the more you're actually going to get in the long run. So what is the Chrome extension though? I'm very curious. How did you A, figure out to make it? B, what is it? How does it help you win your day?
So a lot of customers asked us, oh, can you create are you going to create an app? Are you going to do this with the self-journal? And it's like, it just doesn't feel right. And we just didn't want to create it for the sake of creating it. So Cathryn and I sat down and were like, well, what makes sense if we were to create a digital product? What do we like using? What's out there? Or what can we make better? Or what do we wish we have? And it sort of organically came about the Win the Day app, which is a Chrome extension that is really concise. Every time you open up a new tab, rather than being distracted with Facebook, what happened, or other social media or news or whatever your vice is, you have your goal staring you in the face, and the days left that you had put to reach that goal with the 3 tasks that you need to do that day. And it's just really simple, straightforward, but makes you really intentional with your time, which is what it's all about.
As you were saying that, I'm going, oh, ow. Like, I feel like, right, having the goal and going and seeing it and having it top of mind. I would do if this, then that, and I would have it text me my goal every morning. Yeah. And after a little while, I got preconditioned. I'd be like, yep, there's that text again, which was not good. I wanted to not be like that. So do you input the actions that you have to put daily, or how does that work?
You input the tasks, and you can like do it. So like tomorrow, you could put tomorrow's tasks in today if you wanted, but it's just so that, and then you can like score them off whenever they're done. And then we have a focus mode in there so that if you want to block off like distracting sites, God forbid you would go to those, you can set, okay, this is what I'm going to work on for the next 45 minutes and just like focus for however long that it'll take you to get done.
Okay, I love that. We usually recommend other apps for that now too. Now I can just recommend yours because I know you guys, and yours must be better because of that reason. No, but that focus
it's really
thing is
pretty.
Oh, see, I do like it better. The focus thing though is huge, right? And everybody knows this, and doing it is another thing. But getting in that focus mode and getting into flow. I don't know if you guys read like Stealing Fire or the Flow Genome Project stuff, but like having that focus is a big, huge piece of it, and it's simplistic to do in physical form. Like, yes, you just click a button to do focus mode. Yes, you write it down every day. This is not rocket science, but we have a hard time doing it. What advice do you have for people to make sure that they are consistently doing it instead of just, oh, I got that Chrome extension, did it for 3 days, and then, Oh, who has to take that?
So I think the fact that every time you open a new tab and you're seeing this goal will hopefully keep you, and you've picked a goal that you're actually committed to. A lot of people will choose a goal that they haven't figured out, okay, how's this actually going to change my life, or why am I excited about it? Like, oh, I want to make this much money, but it's like, but so in the self journal, we want people to commit to what their goal is and why it's going to matter. So it's like, why will this make a difference in your life? Because if it's not going to make a difference, then you're not going to be like passionate about actually doing it. So if you've chosen a goal that really like fires you up, hopefully seeing that every day will get there. And then we also talk about this like 20-mile march type of thing where it's like, what can you do every single day? It doesn't have to be big. It could be like 30 minutes of focused work. But if it is focused work on whatever the goal is, then you're going to get there if you do it consistently every day. And again, it's not a big deal. It's like it's a domino effect of 30 minutes every day.
Yeah. And if you have a goal to be a millionaire or be a multimillionaire, why is that important to you? Like, really get down deep into it and figure out why. Because when things come up and challenges stand in your way and you're really frustrated and you don't think you can go any further, the $1 million or multi-million dollars that you're aiming for isn't what's going to push you to get over, around, or through that obstacle. It's going to be the deeper rooted reason why. And that's what's really going to push you. Because guess what? Challenges will come up. They will stand in your way. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be challenges. Totally. So really figuring out why.
It's not sunshine and roses? Well, I thought that's why I got into the game.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because there's different levels of those challenges then too, right? Some people are like, oh, I thought it would get easier as I got. No, there's always something, right? There's new, there's unknown. There's always going to be something. And knowing the background will actually keep you from giving up.
It's like
completely.
whack-a-mole.
It's like whack-a-mole.
It's like one thing you like get down and then the other one pops up. But I think the level, if you keep going, like there was things that Alan and I dealt with in the first year that we were like, oh my God, that was so difficult to handle, that if we face it now, we'd be able to handle. It's just like expanding that circle of comfort with what you can deal with. But some of the issues that we're facing now, if we face them in the first few months, it would have been like, oh, I don't know what to do here, and just like game over almost.
See, one of my favorite quotes, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Like, I feel like business and entrepreneurship makes you better. Makes you a better human, more evolved, and better to deal with whatever life throws at you, right?
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is probably the number one personal development tool.
Through pain sometimes, too. Yay!
Yep.
Good times, embrace it. But that's why we need to focus on the small wins, because if we're not focusing on those and you're just dealing with a bunch of pain, you're not going to want to stay in it for too long, because it's definitely worth it. It just sometimes hurts a little bit. But thankfully, people like you, A, are helping us, but B, you can see the connection between you two and how you really complement each other. And it looks like you actually have fun. So in business and having and really focusing on the pieces that are fun and hanging out with people that you like and having a team that you actually enjoy being with, it's one of the reasons why we're doing this too. I love this. I know we have to start wrapping up soon. So I'm going to ask one last question. I don't know if one of you wants to take it or both of you, but what's one action, besides buying the self-journal, which I will say later. What's one action listeners can take this week to help move them forward towards their goal of $1 million? No one. Love it.
For me, I would say figuring out where, like getting a measurement of where you are currently so that you have a baseline of how you need to improve to get to $1 million. Because I feel like whether you want to lose weight or do anything, if you don't know where you're at currently, then you're not going to know how far you're going to get. Because once you know where the baseline is, then you know what you need to make up to get to where you want to go. And then that's going to be more easily to break down and actually know, okay, if I hit this in the next month, then I'm this much closer to my goal. If you don't know that baseline, then you don't even know what you're dealing with.
Genius. And people avoid that because they don't want to look at it a lot of times. I loved Alan's face there before you answered that question. He's like, waiting. I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
I'll take a step. What's one thing that someone can do this week to improve their chances? Or what's the question?
I should put him on the spot. One action
Mm-hmm.
this week to help move them forward towards their goal of $1 million.
One action this week is going back to what Cathryn said about the 20-mile march, is blocking off 30 minutes of your day every day this week. And in that 30 minutes, you turn your phone off, God forbid. You don't work on Facebook, you don't do anything. You just focus on your one key thing that you've been putting off for last week, last month, last year, and you just focus on that one thing. Because most times we always put off the one thing that's going to get us that much closer. So if you just spend 30 minutes for the next week every day doing the one thing that you've been putting off last week and the month before and the month prior, chances are the week following that you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
So simplistic and so gosh darn true. As a coach, I think one of the reasons why I have a job is I'm like, go do this thing. That one thing that you're avoiding, go do that. I just got an email last week. I told him 3 times. He still didn't email this one person. He finally did. It changed everything. I'm like, oh yeah, you got to be told 3 times sometimes. But you guys do that yourself. Everybody that's listening, make sure you take the time to actually do it. You can go to bestself.co, right, to get the journals. And now I have to go get new ones too. I think I only have like 5 left anyway, but I have to go get new ones because they have the week by week. What else do you have on the site as far as content? And I know you have tons of other products and stuff like that. Tell me more about that.
So we have other products. Another big product that people love is the weekly action pad, which is a sort of brain. So follows a framework that I have been doing for years, basically of downloading my brain onto one thing, like organizing it, prioritizing it, and then figuring out, okay, this is a draining task, this is an energizing task. So if I was doing anything marketing related, as far as like, say I had to set up a lead page, God forbid, that would be a draining task for me. So and then there's another energizing task. So depending, like first thing in the morning, the highest priority, most draining task, because that's when I have the most energy. And then maybe after lunch, I'll do something energizing for me personally. So it's all about like, you start your day with a full bag of coins. How do we end the day with a full bag of coins, but also get done?
I love that. Now I'm going to go check that out too. I didn't even know you had that. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show today and finally coming on so I could gush about the self-journal. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jaime.
Thanks, Jaime. It's awesome to be here.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that interview. And if you want to check out more amazing resources, I'm only curating the best of the best. Go check out eventualmillionaire.com. You can take the Eventual Millionaire quiz, figure out where you are in business and what you need right now. Plus, you can look at curated resources specifically for you on the new Start Here page. I'm so excited. Please join us. Please let me know if you need anything at all. I'm here for you. And have a fantastic day. Bye.